Hello and welcome to the eSeniors GT3 Championship, and this is the Group 1 race. These guys have certainly got a mantle to help upheld after the Group 3 and Group 2 race that preceded it. Group 3 race was won fantastic by Nikos, who put in a blistering qualifying lap and then went on to seal the victory. Group 2 I was part of, got pole, raced really well, ended up losing pole position on the track, but did manage to win the race before the end. So I'm just going to say that out there now. Fantastic race, really enjoyed it, but God was a shaking at the end. That's probably the most intense race I have ever experienced.
Well done, Mark. Well done.
As part of eSeniors. Thank you very much, Jeremy and Jonathan, for that. And I must say, Juan and Jonathan, that commentary has got to be up there. I don't care what sport you watch, what commentary you watch, what TV channel you watch. That epitomised everything in relation to excitement, passion, enjoyment and entertainment. That was fantastic commentary, guys, so I want to congratulate you on that. So obviously we sit here at the moment with what is Group 1. I haven't done the tables in preparation for this, so what I'll do is I'll read out what the table situation is. I've been busy all day unfortunately today, so I've not been able to put the preparation time in. It goes to show I do have a life outside of eSeniors. But as it stands at the moment, Pete Wolfslaner is in pole position with a 321 points. Separated by 40 points from Carlo. Andrea Caiola is 264 points behind that. And then Andrea and Chris Bourne have got 1 point separating them. There's then a bit of a gap of 50 odd points between Chris Bourne and David Gerard. And then there's 1 point between David Gerard and Lars Eklund. Okay, so what we're looking at here is Lars, David, Chris, Andrea, Carlo and Peter as who we expect to be up there fighting and battling for the race. But as we know in the wet, as we know in the dark, anything can happen. So what we're going to do is I'm going to switch over to the live stream and we're going to sit there. Actually, I want to remove that driver of the day. We don't really need that on there. That's not preempting. I will be doing that at some point, but not preempting that. And what we'll do is we'll sit on board with one of the drivers. We're with Peter at the moment, and we'll do a lap guide with Peter. So Peter's coming up to corner 1. Brake turn to the right, cut the corner as much as possible, and then you want to cut the corner on the left as much as possible within track limits. That's corner 1 and 2, and that takes us into the Variante del Parco, which is corner 3. Flat out to the end of this one, which is corner 4, and that is what's called Rio. You want to take the inside as much as possible, get your foot down early on, get the outside corner, and then what you're looking to do here is drift left and cut the corner as much as possible in relation to that. That's corners 4, 5 and 6. We've now got a straight of sorts with a kink in it. This is corner 7. This leads us into Casira, which is corner 8. This is a case of trying to get as maximum pace out of this corner as possible without losing grip and losing pace. You then want to move left. In fact, Peter's backed out. So what we'll do is we'll jump on board with another driver. I'm jumping on board with Andrea here. So where's Andrea on the track? So Andrea at the moment looks like he's in corner. He's just gone through
He's
the
coming
Variante
to the
del
straight,
Parco. Yeah,
yeah.
so he's into corner. I'm just trying to work out where he is
He's
actually.
coming to the start-finish
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, he's on the main straight.
I'll do it again with Andreas. Apologies for that. Peter backed out, so I couldn't keep up with that one. Just coming to corner 1, corner 2, right-hander, left-hander. Then he's going to the Variante del Parco, which is corner 3, the right-hander coming up. Again, cut as much as possible, but this is flat out here. You want to keep the foot down. You can see Carlos there has done a 140.3. Right-hander into Rio, corner 4. This leads into corner 5. And then the left-hander, which is corner 6. And the idea is cut as much as possible, keep the power down, and rock it down this straight. Bit of a kink, corner 7. This takes us into Casira, which is corner 8, which is the left-hander. And the idea is to keep the power down without losing too much pace, but not losing any grip, moving sideways or getting the traction control to kick on. He'll then move left into corner 9 and then take corner 9 on the right-hand side. Brake late into Tramonto, which is corner 10, and try and get the power down onto the long straight. The long straight's got 2 corners. You can take them both flat out. The first one is called Cavone, or if you read it, it says curve 1 if you're English, but it's Cavone. Corner 11, cut the corner. Corner 12, also cut the corner. Just after the corner, hard onto the brakes to corner 13. Cut the corner, power down. Just before the end, brake hard into Caro, which is corner 14. Try and get the car settled to straighten out. Get to the right hand side, then cut the corner to the left. Corner 15. And this takes us on to the final left-hander, which is corner of the track called Misano. Again, cut the corner as much as possible, get the power down as early as possible. And that is a lap guide of Misano. So hopefully that all made sense to everybody.
And he gets fall in the process.
So that was a good lap to follow with a 140 flat.
Yeah.
So just to show the difference between the different groups. Nikos got group 3, he got a pole of 141.0. In the yesterday race, the pole was a 140.8. In this race at the moment, it's a 140.0. So you can see you're looking at a good second between group 1 and group 3, and you're looking at 8 tenths between group 2 and group 1. So that's how we classify the drivers into the different groups. So Andrea's going fast here. Carlo's going quicker. But he's not making an impact on Andrea. And Andrea, as it stands, is still up.
And Peter is in the pits. Peter is not even... I mean, I don't know why he's not... there's only 8 minutes left to qualifying.
He's just coming out right now. He's just coming out of the pit lane.
Yes,
so, yeah, this is going to be exciting because we got our top 2 within 0.1 of a second.
Yeah.
And now we got Peter the Wolf. Let's see what happens.
So I'm just going to switch over to Peter. Let's find him.
Hey, bonjour, Robert. Robert speaks French to me now.
Ah, like that is it. So we got Don. Hi, Don. 658. Lee. Hi, Lee. Welcome to the stream.
Hello, guys.
Hi, Robert. You're saying you didn't hear Jeremy, but how can you not hear Jeremy? There you go. Ollie. Hi, Ollie. Things are brilliant, mate. Don Queen's just saying there, Nico's pole time was exactly indicative of Group 3 times. I qualified 4th and was a second and a half off Nikos. Fair comment, Don.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, sorry, Jeremy, I was just going to say, at the end of the day, we've seen Nikos slowly get quicker and quicker and quicker. And, you know, some races he's been nowhere. He picked one race where he's obviously good in the wet, it's fair to say, and he just pulled it out of the bag. That can happen in any race with any driver. So I think it's fair to say, you know, he did an exceptional job. But it wasn't only a fluke. The fact that he went on to win the race, I think, was a real compliment to Nikos for not only getting that pole, but also keeping it together for the race. Because I think that's the first time, and we'll all agree, and no doubt Nikos will be on the stream in a minute, we'll all agree that that was such an exceptional performance. And, you know, as someone who commentates and communicates with you guys day in, day out, I take a certain degree of pride from watching the different races, because I think that's our group. I know we're all, you know, over 50, but I think this group is so fantastic and dynamic. We can have one week where Nikos has a nightmare and decides to play 10-pin bowling with everyone. Then the following week, he's got his act together and everyone's praising him. You just can't predict this. It's absolutely fantastic.
Yes, and that said, he even with the time he posted for quali, he missed out because he missed, I believe, a breaking point. He could have even shaved another tenth or two out of that time.
So I watched Nikos's lap, and it's a shame he's not in the stream because he'll hear me say this. I watched Nikos's lap in the replay, and I saw bits on his replay where I thought to myself, he's got, and I believe he had half a second in the bag there. If he'd have broke and taken the corners a different way. Now, I'm not saying that's my experience, but I just thought, oh, Nikos, you could have done this, you could have done that there, and that'd have given him, I believe, another at least half a second. So his lap time was phenomenal. I
totally agree, mate. I agree, mate. But, he had at least a half a second on the board there that he could have got back.
Yeah,
that's right.
I mean, this corner now we've just come through.
Peter is now he's got just taken the last corner. Let's see what his lap time is.
Just to say, these two corners Peter's just taken, Nikos was very tentative. He could have taken them much more aggressively, and that'd have given quarter of a second. So Peter's gone into third place there with a 140.1. Look at that. Carlo and Peter.
Peter and Carlo, identical lap times.
Wow.
Hello, Michelle.
Hi, Michelle. Thanks for joining the stream, mate. Much appreciate it. And Ollie's saying Nico for Group 1 when he gets a set of pedals. Yeah, okay.
No. Nikos is definitely going to Group 2.
Right. So, Robert, I'm gonna do an insult deliberately here, so don't take it personally. Wait, this is over 50s. Oops, I'm 39. Well, if you're 39, mate, you're shit because we're all over 50. Sorry, Robert. That was a bit of a joke.
Hey, look, let's be honest here. Look, Nikos has been a bit of a bad boy recently, and I think he's had his tail between his legs a little bit. So that win yesterday, the pole and the win yesterday, and that performance will have really ignited his confidence. And yeah, I mean, he's going to be Group 2 very, very soon, I would imagine.
Yes. So 4 minutes left to the quali. Very close top 3. Once again, I believe it's going to be a thrilling race, the same way it was last week between those 3 gentlemen there, Andrea, Carlo, and Peter. I think it's going to be a very tight battle.
Okay, I'm going to.
Yeah, but look at John Saunders. He's only a quarter of a second behind Paul as well, so he's going to be right there, and they're going to be racing each other for the lead.
I believe that as well.
Not going as fast as they probably could, so it'll definitely be a top 4.
Right, I'm just going to go quiet for 2 seconds, guys. Back shortly. Just so you're aware that Carlo is 2/10 up, and Andrea is 1/10 up. We're currently on board with Andrea, and he's going to go into the 139s here.
Oh.
Boom! There you go.
Wow.
First drive into the 139s.
Incredible.
So, hold on.
Incredible.
Just watch Carlo. Oh, just give him a second. He's only got a little bit of a lap left.
Also, Mark Rogers and Chris Bourne have posted identical lap times as well. Both.
Yes,
wow. Do you know what? Me and Terry.
So close.
Do you know what? Yesterday, me and Terry did the same. I don't know if any of you saw that in the pre-qualifying. We had identical lap times. What is it about this track? It's bizarre, isn't it?
It is.
It's not the track, it's the group of racers. Everyone is just so very close. It's just everything is concertinaed.
Yeah. Carlo, and now David Gerard has the 3rd place.
Yeah, incredibly, Peter is in 4th place.
Yes, it is.
I mean, I'd be happy with 4th place, but I mean, it's quite amazing. It really is.
I believe it's going to be the same kind of battle we had last week. But from what I saw earlier, before the pre-race meeting, Andrea has the fastest pace during the race. And it was followed by Carlo and Peter in 3rd. So let's see what happens during the race.
Right, guys, I am back. So let's look at. So I'm just going to jump on board with Nelson. Nelson's 4/10 up with a 141.2. He was 4/10 up. That corner's took all his time away. But he's going for the 140s here as it stands. If he can keep it together. God, the chat. I've only been gone literally a minute. Hi, Melvin. I'm in the warehouse.
Hello,
okay?
Melvin.
Okay, Don, thanks for that. I can't offend Robert. I've tried.
It's impossible to offend Robert. It's just, it'll never happen.
It was done for the benefit of the stream and entertainment. I appreciate that. Michelle, I thought about a new championship where the particulars were free car choice. Okay, yeah, I think that's what people want. They want every week you can pick your own car, but that takes it away a little bit. And Lee's saying, is it the US Grand Prix today? Come on, Lee, wake up. Circuit of the Americas in 1 hour's time, I think it is.
Yep.
Yeah.
So Carlo did a fast lap, but he didn't improve his time. So this is his last lap. We've only got 30 seconds left here.
Yeah.
And Peter is still in 4th position.
He is. See, this happened last night, to be honest, or yesterday. Mark Christopher was in a position he wasn't used to. He wasn't in pole, and I think because you're not in pole, you've got that much more aggression of wanting to get somewhere. And he made a mistake, then he made another mistake. And when you're so used to being out in front, I think it's so easy to try and pull that gap back. That you make a mistake, your car's not set up for that sort of raggedness, if you like. And unfortunately, I mean, Mark Christopher lost a lot of time yesterday as a result of a couple of personal errors. Now, in all the times I've seen Mark race, I've not seen him make one error. And it's ironic that's the first time he wasn't first on the track.
Well, you know what? Let's talk about last week, because we saw that from Peter, didn't we? He was in a position, he was second, and you saw him get flustered. And you saw John Saunders go outside him, and look what happened.
Yeah.
Right.
Brilliant racing, but here we go.
Hi, Steve Howells. Welcome to the stream.
Hello, Steve.
Yeah, Nelson's car looks nice. Right.
So Carlo did not improve.
No, this is it.
Looks like that's it. Yeah, that's it.
We've still got
Mark Rogers is going across the line, unable to improve.
Chris Bond's 2/10 up. He's lost 2/10 in one corner. This is it with this track. You can gain so much and lose so much in one corner. It's absolutely bizarre. I don't think I've come across a track that gives and takes so quickly in one corner to the next.
Carlo is impressed by Andrea's lap time. He wrote 1:39. Dang.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not surprised. Right, we'll be back shortly after this intro. Okay, we're back, and what we'll do is we'll do a very, very brief, very dark grid tour, because the car lights don't come on until we're in start conditions. So in first place, in what is the, as you can see, the burly yellow and black Aston, is Andrea Chiola, car number 67. On the right-hand side, very surprisingly for the last three races, is a Bentley up at the front in Carlo. So Carlo's done a fantastic job there in the number 3 Bentley. Well done. And then we've got the first of the PWS cars, which is David Gerrard in the PWS Aston. And then again, we have another Bentley, which is Peter Wolfslater in the 196. And then that looks like a Ferrari on the left-hand side, very hard to see, which is John Saunders. Again, I can't see the number 11 that looks. And we have the second PWS car, which is Mark Rogers, who's also in an Aston Martin. And that's the car number 777. The next car on the left-hand side is Chris Bourne on the left-hand side there, as you can see in the Lexus. And then on the right-hand side in the Martini, number 33, Aston is Nelson. Then behind that we have another Aston, which is the number 9 Aston of David Noble. And then on the right-hand side we have a McLaren of Lars Eklund. We then have another Bentley, the 109 of Craig Holmes. And we have a Porsche, the 701 of Derek Bird. So Derek's quite further down the grid than usual. Today we then have another Bentley, which is Reese Wiggin, the number 667. On the right hand side we have the Ferrari of Neil Bywater of the red and white Ferrari. And then further down we have Hugh Morris, who again is racing with Group 1 because of availability, in the blue Ferrari. Very consistent racer, I must say. Chris Baker in the Sega liveried number 10 Aston Martin. You can see the lights coming on. And then as we get towards the end, we've got Merch in the number 69 Aston. Dimitri Stathis in the... I'm just trying to look, that looks like a Ferrari. Yeah, it's a Ferrari. And then obviously Jeremy will drop out in a minute. So what we'll do is we'll go back to what is going to be the helicam at the beginning of the grid. And it's like it's counted down to 0. And off we go. A quick look at the chat while this is going on. Hi Natty. Hi Richard. Yeah, let's hope
guys.
lap 1's different to yesterday. Yeah, that's a very good comment. And Lee saying, Jeremy, please change the race server as soon as possible. Hi Nikos, congratulations mate on Friday. What an absolutely outstanding race you had. And that's it, lights out and away we go. Straight away, as you can see there, Andrea's made a fantastic start. But that big Bentley's having a go. It looks like so far, everybody... Oh, a couple of one of the PW
between David and Peter.
Yeah, one of the PWS cars has gone a little bit wide, but as it stands, all driving. Actually, it was David Gerrard and John Saunders who made contact. So you can see Carlos putting a lot of pressure on Andrea here, and then I think it's going to be looking at the way this is set up. Routine. You can see Nelson's putting pressure on Chris Bourne there, and further back as we come into the corners, it looks like we've made the start. Oh, Derek Bird's gone off. By the looks of it, there's been contact with Derek. I don't know where Derek is, and Lars Eklund. Looking at this, so Lars is okay. Neil Bywater and Merch have made contact as well.
Yes.
But that just looks like it was a bit of a love tap. So hopefully no one's lost too much time there.
It looks like Derek Bird is right at the very back of the pack now.
He is indeed. He went off. He lost a lot of ground with Derek in that incident. I think he actually spun into the barrier. Hopefully his car wasn't damaged. Kudos to him, though, for carrying on. It's very easy at this point to think, you know what, I'm done. I'm going to the pits. But kudos to him there for doing that. Man on a mission at the moment, as it stands, is Merch. Merch is putting pressure on Dimitri Stathis. Peter Wolfslaner is putting pressure on Carlo. As you can see here, Merch has easily managed to pass Dimitri there. I don't know whether Dimitri just decided to give that rather than race it. I'm going to go to Chris Bourne, because he's putting pressure on Mark Rogers, and you can see Nelson's just there in the background as the other PWS behind Nelson as well. This is going to be quite a good battle throughout the race, I feel.
Yeah, you can tell straight away. I mean, I'm riding here with Peter, and the top 3 are just nose to tail, and it's just a simple matter of making a tiny little error. And then the guy behind gets through, and I can tell right here, right now, that Peter has a lot of time in hand over the guys in front already. He's just biding his time.
Yeah, and Carlo's also putting pressure on Andrea as well. So they're coming to the part of the track now where you've got the left-hander, then the double right-hander, and then you've got that long straight, and you can just see the difference in the way the cars are coming together there. I don't think I've seen any passes on that long straight, but I'll tell you what, you can certainly get a cracking toe as you come into the dual full power right-handers.
Yeah, the interesting thing about this circuit, Mark, is that you've got these very wide apex
we've had
turns,
a spin.
Right?
We've had contact there. Nelson and Chris Bourne made contact. Now it's not disrupted Chris Bourne, but sorry, Jonathan, as Nelson was behind. That to me looks like Nelson unfortunately made contact with Chris and has lost pace as a result of it.
So so my point with these wide turns is that the fastest line is not a defensive line. A lot of like that left-hander that we were discussing at Paul Ricard. The fastest line is actually a wide line. But if you take that wide line, if you've got somebody right behind you, they're going to be able to dive inside. So the lap times that we're going to see from the top few cars is nowhere near what they're capable of.
No, and just to highlight there, I was trying to gain Chris Bourne. Chris Bourne's gone off. He made a mistake and he spun. So, the robots of the racers, they are only human after all. And that's put him down to 16th place. So Chris Bourne has got it all to do, and he was doing really well in the leadership. So, and also what we didn't realise is Peter Wolfslaner has actually managed to pass John Saunders. And there you can see Andrea's gone off. Andrea's spun off.
Oh,
Andrea
no.
And just went off.
That means Peter and Carlo are now first and second. Wow. So Andrea's down to 5th. So Jeremy, he's now into 7th, 8th place, 9th place.
Incredible.
And he's getting going again. And he's being taken again. Is Reese going up the inside?
By Reese.
Reese has took him up the inside. Is Hugh going to take him? He's going for the dive up the inside. That's never going to work. Yeah, he's very, very close there with Nelson and Hugh as well towards the back. But wow, we said about the cars coming into some of the corners early on. We saw it yesterday with Mark Christopher about 6 laps in. Too much power hitting the curb. They will just go. And you're talking about these guys who never make a mistake. They are faultless on a dry track. And we've seen we've seen Chris Bourne, we've seen Nelson, we've seen Andrea all make a mistake within the first couple of laps. Wow. Absolutely amazing. So we've got quite a gaggle of cars here now. And Andrea's just in front of Hugh. Andrea's going to be looking to pass Reese. We know Reese is really difficult to race against. So this is going to be really interesting. The Aston versus the Bentley on the straight. The Aston's got the initial pump, but that Bentley can really go for it. So I'm just going to jump forward to these two. Oh, take a deep breath back to the stream. Hi, Pete. Hi, Paul Moore. Hi, Stefan. Hi, Peter. Hi, Juan.
Hello, guys.
Hi, Chris. There's so much to catch up with.
Oh, I'm looking at the replay of Andreas Caiola, and he literally just got it on the curb on the outside, and he just gave it too much of the loud foot.
Nah.
I said that. Oh, he's going up the inside. Oh, has he made a pass? Oh, Reese has got the corner here. He's going to have to go really round the outside, but he's made it stick.
Yes, he did.
Andrea's made it stick. I'll tell you what, for a track that's difficult to pass on, that was a pretty cool move, to be fair. It's still not done and dusted yet, but Reese has realised that line has now been given as he comes into Kersera corner. Or Casilla corner, whatever you call it. And Nelson's now under pressure. There's been another bit of contact. Hugh Morris and I think it was Chris Baker have made contact. Neither of them lost places, so I presume it was just doors touching or, front and back. The further behind, we've still got a bit of competition going on. So Mercy's now catching up to Neil Bywater. Coming through that fast straight. First corner, the second corner. Flat out and then brake hard.
This could be pretty explosive, actually, between Merce and Neil.
Yep. Chris Bourne is making his way back. So I'm just getting with Chris Bourne now, who's putting pressure on the Sega liveried Aston Martin of Chris Baker. So the two Chris's are at it here. I do expect Chris Bourne will pass Chris Baker. He'll get such a better drive out of one of the corners leading onto a straight. I don't think he'll do it here. Not under braking. But I do think he's going to take, as we come on to the next straight, and corner 4-5, David Noble's gone off. So David Noble has also gone off and he's losing places, and Andrea's going to pass David Noble. So Andrea's moved up a position. Wow. Wow.
Well, will Andrea be able to come back to the top 3? That will be absolutely astounding if he does.
Yeah. I think it's a difficult challenge on this track.
It is.
But yeah, we'll see. So you can see now Nelson's putting pressure on David Noble. So Nelson made an early mistake, and there's a couple of cars passing further back. So Chris Bourne has now made it past Chris Baker as we anticipated, and he did it in exactly the place I thought he would have done it, to be honest. So,
and Chris is a specialist that's coming back in races as well. He started races back and finished in the top 3 very often.
Yeah. So the chat's going ballistic. Let's have a look. Yes, I put the gap on. Sorry about that, Robert, but always grateful for you guys reminding me if I've not put something on to do that. And Paul Moore makes a comment. I think people really forget how tough these conditions are to race. It's extremely entertaining, great to drive. Yeah, adding rain to the situation in relation to that, Paul, is valid. But making it at night just adds that extra bit of spice. You know, it's one of these where you go to a curry house for a curry, you like a hot curry, and they say, no, we've got this sort of chili, and it just gives you that extra kick. Well, adding nighttime to a race is that sort of kick. So, yeah, it's absolutely fantastic. And it looks like very early on, this race is exciting as the previous couple of races. Which,
it is.
Wow. What a combination track and conditions. Brilliant, Jeremy. Brilliant.
And Peter is really applying pressure on Carlo there. Half a second between them, and they're going at it. And Saunders is third, almost 5 seconds behind.
I actually think that Jeremy is something of a sadist for putting this combination together for us.
So when I say it was when I said it was my idea, that's nothing to do with it then.
Okay, then you're the sadist.
Yeah, Peter's now putting pressure on Carlo. Yeah, I've picked the format of the tracks this season, and all Jeremy's doing is pressing the buttons.
I stand corrected. You're to blame.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, but so what entertainment is this?
Yeah, it's amazing. Kayola is definitely catching Lars. I mean,
he is.
Yeah, he is. Of this lap, he's half a second up already on this lap.
Oh, Neil Bywater went off and Murch has managed to pass him. In fact, there was contact between Neil and Murch there. So that was interesting to see. So Murch and Neil, so I got the impression there Murch has forced the incident. And I think that's something you mentioned before, Jonathan.
Yeah, well, he's famously he's run into me like several times. I think I've lost count, but you know, it does happen quite a lot. So for sure, I'm sure the stewards will be taking a look, and we'll probably get a YouTube review from Neil as well. So you know, you're talking about two guys who are pretty highly charged, and they're serious about their racing.
I'll just switch to Andrea. Andrea's putting pressure now, as you mentioned, onto Lars. So I'll put this onto the dash cam so we can see what Andrea can actually see. Back to the chat. This chat's going through unbelievably quick. Andrea Nikos reckons Andrea's going to make the podium.
Could be.
And Nikos is saying at least someone's got pedals. He's got toys. Yeah, we know that.
Ooh,
Andrea just went off.
Yeah, and Andrea's made a mistake. Again. And Lars has passed Craig Holmes. So there's a bit of an incident there, but Lars has made a pass on Craig in the Bentley. So that means now Lars is now going to be putting pressure on David Gerard at some point. David Gerard will probably do his own YouTube video on this as well, because he quite looks back at what he's learned and makes points. David Noble has also passed Nelson, so Nelson's now struggling a little bit. I'm not saying struggling a lot, but he just seems to be losing a bit of pace in certain places of the track. And just to give you an indication of the lap times, you're looking at a lot of the drivers are doing the low 140s and a couple of them doing 142s. It looks like the ones in the 142s are struggling a little bit. So Craig is still putting pressure on Lars. He's not giving this place up, even though he has lost it. He does want it back a little bit.
Well, you know, Craig is one of those drivers, a bit like me, who is faster when they're chasing someone. So, you know, I've been in battles with him where, you know, he's the guy in front and I'll overtake him. I think I've got like a lot of time on him. I'll overtake him, think I'm going to like pull away, and I just don't. And he's just on my tailpipes, you know, and then eventually he overtakes me again. So definitely one of those kind of drivers.
Hi, Mark Christopher. Great race yesterday. Unfortunate with your spin into, I can't remember the corner name now, the right-hander where you over-rotated the car, and then obviously further down. I think you mentioned yourself, not your best race, but you still sat at it, mate. You know, you still carried on. You put pressure on me for the first 6 laps. So well done, regardless of where you finished there. And only once Bathurst, heavy rain at night. You guys are nuts.
Yeah, he'd be driving on his own.
Dom Queen saying what? Oh, he's talked about Mark. Okay, I'll leave that one between you two guys. I love a challenge and embrace learning from it. Right, there's been another incident towards the back, so let's see what's caused this. I'm not too sure what the incident was here, but it's Neil Bywater and Chris Baker. I mean, these guys are battling towards the back, so as you can see here, Neil Bywater's the guy in front, Chris Baker's the guy behind. Chris Baker's going up the inside, Neil's defending. I reckon Chris has gone for the dive here, and Neil's cut across. Ooh, yeah. To be fair, that wasn't a dive, I think, from what I saw there. And Chris Baker's given the place back. That's, I would say, very gentlemanly. What would you reckon, Jonathan, to that?
Yeah, I think if Neil would have just given him a little bit more room, he would have actually kept the place. But it just kind of underlined what I said earlier, where Neil was on the fastest line, but he had a guy right behind him who just basically sent it, so he had nowhere to go.
So we can see now Andrea's just managed to pass Craig. That looked very, very easy, but Craig's coming back at him. And you can see that,
he's got him.
I'll tell you what, that drive Andrea's got with that Aston, that Aston drive is amazing. He dropped the Bentley there on almost from a dead start. I don't know how he's got his car set up. I can't get my Aston to drive like that.
It's a great sequence of corners because you can lose the place on the one corner, but you can be in the right position to take the next one. So, it's why it keeps on going back and forth.
So this battle here is Hugh and Murch. Chris Bourne and Murch. So Murch is being pressured by Chris. As you can see, he's getting very close, and Hugh Morris is in front of them in the blue Ferrari. So I've got a feeling here Chris is going to go for the pass on Murch, but it's all about where. And the second point of that is Murch going to let it happen? As Jonathan's explained from previous coming togethers with Murch, he's a very difficult person to pass, and he's a do or die racer, as in, I will make this stick, otherwise I'll lose my race. Is that a fair comment, Jonathan?
Yeah, no, it's a fair comment, and he's a hard racer, and it takes all different kinds, and but it adds like an extra element of color to our group here. I wouldn't have it any other way. Even though I've had like my contretemps with him, I absolutely wouldn't have it any other way because it's exciting.
You can see he got very, very deep into the corner coming out there, lost a bit of time. I am just watching the gap at the front as well.
Yeah, that's it. Peter is getting closer to Carlo.
Yeah, Peter seems to be backing out and then going for it again. So this is a battle of the Bentleys, shall we say.
And now they both have an 8-second gap to the third.
Yeah, to John Saunders. Nelson's putting pressure. Nelson's going to take David Noble on the inside. So he's already got that corner nailed. That's down to him now. He just needs to maintain it, get the braking point right, get the power right on the corner. Otherwise, we're going to see David Noble coming back on the outside. Nelson's still got the inside line to the corner, so I would expect Nelson to keep this as it stands. And you can see David Noble's backed out, hoping that Nelson's going to overshoot. And you can see there, Nelson's not going to overshoot this corner this time. So fantastic driving there. Jonathan, there's a comment from Robert there. You're a better commentator than driver. You should stay in the booth.
Oh, bugger off, Robert. That's all I can bloody well say. Bugger off. No, I take that both ways. Thanks. It's fun to commentate, but
whoa,
I
Nelson!
prefer to be racing.
Did anybody see that? Nelson's just drifted it round the corner.
Yeah. 4-wheel drift. That was just amazing. That reminded me of Gerhard Berger in the Ferrari. I think it was 1995 around Casino Square. He did a 4-wheel drift. Amazing. Shows how old we are, isn't it? Yeah, referring through a race in 1995.
And Richard's making a comment there. I'm surprised to see those guys taking so much of those wet curbs with no problems. Richard, it's funny actually because you watch that and you think, how are they keeping it on track? You can do it with your car setup. There's a lot you can do with your car to allow it to ride the curbs better, regardless of the conditions. And you can see Chris is going for Murch here into the inside. And has he got the right line? Murch has gone wide. Chris is going to get the upside, but Murch is going to take the left hand. He's going to go wide here, Murch, I reckon. No, Chris has made the pass stick.
Chris made it, yes.
And what it's to do with, Richard, it's all about making sure that the car's got traction even on the curbs. So you can set the rear end of your car up to give you that drive out. So although it looks like these guys are driving totally different, you can actually set the car up to work that way. It's all about the anti-roll bars at the back. Obviously, the suspension's got something to do with it, and also the preload diff. If you've got your preload diff set too high, the wheels will spin too quickly. If you've got your preload diff too low, the wheels will spin too slowly, and it's all about coming out the corner. So it is car setup ultimately. So these guys are obviously at the epitome of what they do in relation to driving. They know car setup, so consequently they can do it.
You know, these guys also, they're amazing when it comes to their throttle modulation. Yes, they're not just on and off. They modulate like crazy, especially these top guys. Peter just got very, very sideways behind Carlo.
Yeah, he lost a bit of time there as a result of it. He lost half a second, but he's gained it back up again.
Yeah, those guys are really going at it, aren't they?
They are. So what Richard was asking about, you know, how they are able to get on those curbs. You know, you can get on the curbs and not be on the gas, right? But as soon as you get on the gas, that's where that, you know, sensitivity with the right pedal really, really pays dividends. And we saw from Andrea that, you know, he got on the gas too early when he was on that curb and it spun him out. So even the very best make those little mistakes. And that's all it is, a tiny little error.
Yeah, equally though, you know, your car setup can contribute to the drive or the lack of drive. You know, if you've got the back end very, very stiff, it's going to struggle more. If you've got the back end soft, you've got the ability of the car to roll more over the curbs. I can't tell you where this is going to end.
Oh,
is this going to be a mistake? Do you think there's going to be a mistake here somewhere?
I don't know. It's like Max versus Lewis, isn't it? It's like Prost versus Senna. It's one of those things that there's just nothing between them.
That's right.
What do you guys think? This morning, the race, Max versus Lewis, first corner. What's going to happen?
I don't think that's definitely a debate there, but. I don't think if it was the reverse, I think Max would try anything, but Lewis is a lot smarter, so I don't think anything will happen.
Well, you've also now got the added ingredient. They've not yet been running under wet conditions, and the feeling is that it's going to be a wet race.
Is it going to be a wet race? Wow. Okay.
And if it's going to be a wet race,
is it?
Apparently it's very wet at Texas at the moment. So the understanding is it could very well be a wet race. Now, if it's a wet race, all the preparation they've done goes out the window. We've seen in the past wet races on that track can throw up the most bizarre surprises. I think it's going to be really interesting. And because of the nature of the track, the way it's got the serrated edges on it.
Peter was so close there.
He was very close there.
So close.
Right in the radar.
He broke very... Paul Moore's saying it's not wet. And I say it's humid and hot. I was just saying, someone before was saying it's been raining on the track. Okay, well, we'll see then.
I just took a look at the weather and it's dry, like 1% precipitation possible.
Right, so it's obviously cleared up. I mean, earlier on it was wet. So Chris Baker and Merch have had a bit of a to-do. Chris Baker's come out winner on that. Merch is now a couple of places down. So the confrontations are still happening between different drivers. But back to the front of the grid, and we've got obviously Carlo and Peter. Richard, brilliant. F1 turn, nothing will happen. Jeremy's doing the pre-race meeting.
Yeah, I wish.
Yeah, I stand corrected. I think someone posted before in Discord it's looking like it's going to be a wet race. We're obviously not, so anything will happen. I think tyre wear is going to be a big problem on the Circuit of America's track because of as I said, the serrated edge of the track. It seems to eat the tyres up much quicker.
Yeah, I was saying yesterday to Jonathan that I would love to drive that on that track with the GT3. I've done it with the F1 2020, and it's a fun track to drive on.
Yeah, it's weird because the way it undulates is quite unique. You know, you come down the start-finish straight, and then you start climbing a mountain.
Yes, and then you have those S's there. It's really crazy. It's a crazy track. It would be fun to be We should ACC should offer us a better track choice. I believe they could easily add throw in like 4 or 5 new tracks.
I did hear or read something that they are introducing an American track. So let's see what they introduce.
Yeah, they need to add more content because otherwise interest is going to wane.
Yeah, Lee Ellis has just said Austin's coming to ACC thing, so that agrees. That really? I would say is what I thought. So nice. I had heard
awesome.
One of the tracks from the Americas was coming to ACC, and Lee's just said the same, ironically. So if the two different people from 2 different continents think the same, there's obviously got to be something tangible in that.
But that will be a really good track for GT3s.
Hi Frank, welcome to the stream. I know what the FR means this week.
Oh, Peter almost spun it.
Oh,
he's really trying to. He's really pushing very, very hard.
Really pushing.
Chris Paul's
trying to figure out how to pass Carlo, where he can gain time, and he's experimenting. And so far, it's not working.
So Chris,
he has 20 minutes to try to solve it.
Chris Bourne has just took Hugh. I think Hugh gave him the place, realising he was quicker. So Hugh's now on a mission to catch Reese. Let's go back to the front. In fact, let's jump into the car and let's see what's going on from there. We can see his braking point. Well, we've not got the HUD up, but we'll get to feel where he's braking as opposed to watching it from outside. Harrison's joined the stream. Hi, Harrison. Harrison's just said actually thought there was an entire expansion pack coming. So let's see.
We can hope because we have such amazing tracks here in the US that it would create such an amazing added interest in ACC apart from anything else.
From what I read, ACC is bound to dominate this kind of simulation games and get even bigger than iRacing.
Someone's just saying the Glen. Robert Abando, the Glen. Now that's another cracking track.
Oh yeah,
Sonoma as well.
The Glen, Sonoma, Road Atlanta, Road America, Circuit of the Americas. Even what's that awful one in Florida with all the bumps?
Oh, you mean Daytona?
No, not Daytona. My mind is like completely blank, but it's a track that is always on Gran Turismo.
So you've got Sebring, you've got Lime Rock.
Sebring, it's Sebring.
Yeah, in fact, Robert's just put Sebring, so's Don and so's Harrison.
Yeah, the bumps at Sebring were absolutely dreadful.
Yeah, everyone's going Sebring, yeah. You need a 4x4 to go in Sebring, don't you?
Pretty much.
just to eat the bumps up. So let's have a quick look at the movers and shakers are at the moment in relation to the position delta. So the biggest mover at the moment, there's a couple of them. We've got Lars 3 places, Craig 3 places, and Reese 3 places. And Hugh, who's having a fantastic race, bearing in mind he's not a Group 1 racer. It was the only night suitable. He raced last week and he had a fantastic race, to be fair, for such a new guy. KO, as you can see there, is one of the biggest losers, as is Chris Bourne, as is Nelson, and is Derek. So you can see quite a few drivers are really struggling. And, with the last couple of races we've seen, you can understand why. I'm going to jump to Chris Bourne now, because Chris Bourne is putting pressure on Reese Wiggin. So we'll just see how it looks from Reese Wiggin's perspective. Chris Bourne's trying to show him a bit of a false hand there, as they come into the very fast first right-hander and the fast second right-hander.
Now, lap time wise, both Carlo and Peter are in the low 140s. Carlo just did a 140.4 and Peter did a 140.2. So they're basically going at qualifying pace.
These two are still battling here. And
they will battle.
And Chris Bourne's made it. But then again, Reese has got the inside line here. Is Reese gonna? No, I think Chris has got the space. Chris has made the pass, hasn't he? So Stefan, I vote with you. The Red Bull Ring, absolutely love that track. It's one of the tracks I really know well from various games. Race Room, the original AC, and a few others. That's a fantastic track. I like the Red Bull Ring, both the long and the short. Actually, The short one's so exciting. You can't get your breath in the short one.
Can you imagine an eSeniors race at the Nordschleife, though? That would be the ultimate, the absolute ultimate.
You're talking 45 minutes racing, you're talking 5 laps, aren't you?
Yeah, exactly.
And everyone's queuing up on the straight to pass.
Peter again, very close there.
Yeah, Peter's really giving it.
Indeed.
In fact, what we'll do is we'll compare the lap times of these two guys, and I'll put the splits up on the screen for you. So you can see there, look at them lap times, a 140.065 and a 140.038.
Wow.
300ths of a second between them. That is just incredible. But not only that, these guys are doing 140 flats in race trim with fuel. When you consider qualification in Group 2 and Group 3 was high 140s, low 141 flats. In fact, Andre's just done a 139.3 in race trim.
Wow.
Unbelievable. Wow. He's not giving in, is he?
No, he's not. It's too bad he lost his car earlier, because it would have been a 3-way battle there for sure.
It would have, yeah. This is unbelievable. Just don't know where this is going to go, do you? We've got 15 minutes left to go.
And it's funny because Peter always catches up Carlo at the same place on the circuit.
Yeah. I'm half wondering if Peter's going to try what I tried last night, which obviously I didn't pull off, but it worked either way. So my plan was, I knew it was the last lap, and I thought, do I go for the full power and the slingshot into that bend? So my intention was to go on the outside, but the angle would give me drive better out that corner, you know, to take into this corner here. And that was what my intention was. Now, obviously, it didn't quite come off because I saw Terry had made a bit of a mistake. But that was what my intention was. So I think you can actually go up there faster, brake later, and get the slingshot around. I've not seen it, but I thought to myself, will this work? Obviously doing it cleanly.
Well, I'm sure Peter is going to have, like last week, in the back of his mind, but at the same time, he's going to want to redeem himself here. So it's so interesting because, you know, you can see him taking like ever so slightly different lines. You can see when the slow corners that Carlo is now started to become very, very defensive. He's taking along that defensive line instead of the wide line. So it's like cat and mouse, isn't it?
Yeah,
it is.
One things for sure, you know, and pardon my French, but these guys are not fucking around. That's for sure.
Oh, no. I mean, if I was racing on this track now, I'd be sat at the back. You know, and when you consider my race yesterday, you're thinking, God, I'd be at the back. You think just how good these guys are. And it's kudos to them. You know, we're all built of the same material, but we can all do things in a completely different way. So definitely kudos to these guys for doing what they're doing. He's just lost a bit of time there, hasn't he?
Yeah, actually, Carlo just got really squirrely on the under braking for that hairpin.
So Derek's now
something that I have noticed.
Okay.
Sorry, mate. Something I've noticed is that the brake balance that Peter is running is slightly forward to what Carlo is using. So Carlo has got it a little bit further on the back. So and I noticed that, you know, under braking, he did lock the back end. That's why he got all squirrely. So just the tiny little setup changes, setup differences are making the difference here. I mean, you can see it visually.
Well, and you can see there's been a bit of a mistake. I thought Chris was going to take Noble. Then Noble went very, very wide, and he has. He's given that place to Chris Bourne. So Chris Bourne's moved up a place now. So we started his journey back. He's 3 places behind Andreas. So, Andrea. So Chris is now on his way. He's got his head together now. And Peter is still putting pressure on. I think the other thing as well, Jonathan, there, you mentioned the brake bias. You move it to the front more, it means you can go into the corners more aggressively, and you'll get potentially more turning. It's all about when you release the brake pedal in it and getting that drive coming out the corner.
Yeah, but the thing is, when you're really under heavy braking, if it's too far back, the rears are going to lock, and
oh yeah,
that's what gets you like totally sideways. I'm looking at electronic mapping for the engine, and I can see I'm with Derek Bird, and he's actually running map 8, which is interesting. I guess that is the wet map, but something I found is that if you just go, actually no, you know what, map 8 on the on the Porsche is actually the regular
standard
map. That's the
right.
high power mapping. Yeah, yes. I it just goes to show that I've gotten used to the Lamborghini already. That map 1 is the fastest map.
So Robert's asking a really good question there. Do aliens adjust the brake bias during the race? Actually, Robert, I'm inclined to say yes. They probably change the brake bias. They probably change.
Going for it.
He is. He's not going to make it. They probably change the traction control and all sorts. Hi, Peter. Welcome to the stream. Great race yesterday, my friend.
Hello, Peter.
He's really pressuring Carlo now.
Oh, he's really.
He's literally blowing up his exhaust, like seriously.
I'm surprised he's not going to start suffering with fumes. Let's look at it from Andreas's car. Sorry, from Carlo's car.
The thing here is that we're dealing with two very high-end drivers, and I cannot imagine Carlo making a mistake at this point. So it's going to be very, very intense to the very end.
Now I know Carlo races in VR. Does it?
Contact!
Hit?
Contact!
No!
The two guys, Peter's hit the back end of Carlo.
Peter ran into him. Where's Carlo?
Peter's let him pass. Peter's let him pass.
Let him.
Wow.
Now, did Peter damage his car in the process?
Really don't know, but I absolutely flabbergasted
insane.
at that. Absolutely flabbergasted.
Incredible.
Well, he was so close.
Yeah, he's caught him up again, hasn't he, as well?
Yeah, this isn't over yet. 10 minutes left yet.
Right, just jumping back to Reese. Reese is putting pressure on David Noble here. Sorry, Jeremy. Yeah, go on.
No, go ahead.
No, just saying, Reese is putting pressure on David Noble. Derek Bird's also putting pressure on Chris Baker as well. So I think we're going to see a couple of changes coming up on what is renowned for being a difficult track to overtake. Over to you, Jeremy.
And Kayola is now in 5th position. Yeah, and Peter definitely lost momentum after this.
Yeah, it's upset him a little bit.
His car's okay, though.
Yeah,
his car's okay because they're only in turn 4 and he's like a quarter of a second up on his fastest lap.
Yeah.
Like, he's coming when we get to the straight.
He's coming back again. No, I was going to say it's a good thing they were 13 seconds ahead because they lost, 7 seconds because of that coming together. So John now is 8 seconds behind.
So Andrea's now passed David Gerrard and he's now homing in on Mark Rogers. So there's still a possibility Andrea, he's got 8 minutes to go. So chat, we're looking for driver of the day. Obviously still a bit of time to go, but any thoughts on driver of the day? I think it's a difficult one because there's obviously a lot of drivers who are making forward movements. We've got Andrea, we've got Chris Ball moving forward. As it stands, I think it's going to be between Peter and Carlo.
I believe the same.
Carlo has had a very, very clean race up at the front. He got, he gained the position as a result of his fantastic driving.
We'll have to see who crosses the finish line first because I think that's really going to define who is driver of the day.
Yeah,
well,
that sounds familiar.
Peter again. Here comes Peter again.
He's half a second faster than his fastest lap right here.
Yeah, it's incredible.
He's going for a 139.6. Oh, come on, Peter.
Wow.
He's playing with us.
Wow.
He is. He's messing with us here.
That's an incredible race between those two. Absolutely insane. Well, once again, it's an amazing race, right? We had the same thing last week between Kayola.
Oh, he spun it.
Oh, there's Peter.
There we go.
That's it. He's more or less awarding the race to Carlo.
There we go.
Yep.
There we go.
Fine margins in it, guys. Fine margins, this.
So we know who the driver of the day is.
Yeah. Unless, obviously, Andrea goes and makes a mistake now. So we've got Derek Bird looking to take Chris Baker. Just a comment for Robert. The traction control, Robert, there's an option to set the traction control to a fixed number. So if you look in the options, you can see TC1, TC2, TC3, and so on. You can put a button to one of them. So yes, you can do what you want to do there. So we've got a couple of votes for Carlo already. Yeah, and Paul Moore says we might need to wait what will happen. I think we've just seen an example of that. Jeremy for the 19th for the drive of the day. He's held onto the field in 19th since the start. And Robert's...
that's a good one, Doug. That's a good one.
That's a very good one. That it's almost as good as Juan with a drive of the day for Jeremy yesterday. You know, getting to drive in the 50-year-olds.
Oh, that's very nice.
Well, my suggestion yesterday for driver of the day, rather facetiously, was the back marker who got in your way, mate. But he actually didn't win.
To be fair, I messaged Thierry before. I messaged Thierry because I think it was Thierry who had gone wide. Thierry, you know, I saw a bit of chat on Facebook afterwards, and at the time I was frustrated. I think I said to you, Jonathan, I said I was a bit peeved off, to be fair, but looking back, I was running a race and we tell the back markers not to move, because if he'd have moved, you don't know where you're going. So because he didn't move, I could take the position I wanted to take, and I had to take the high road, which was off track. So I would never turn around and say at that point Thierry was at fault for the back markers.
Okay, Chris Bourne is about to overtake
Craig,
Mr. Holmes.
Yeah,
he's just took him on the inside now. Craig's not giving up though. He's got the.
He's not.
No, he's got it there. Chris has got this. So from my perspective, although there was a frustration, Thierry, bless him, he did exactly what we tell him not to do. Tell him what to do, which is don't move your line, don't change your line. Whoa, what a dive!
Oh, look at Craig! Oh,
what a dive!
Wow.
Oh, he's gone wide.
Wow.
He's gone too deep there.
Wow.
So you know, I messaged Thierry and says, I hope I didn't spook him too much. And he was fine with it. You know, at the end of the day, there was nothing lost. And as I was running round and I was racing and I was second place, I thought to myself, you know what? I'd take second place because Terry was there. Terry was quick. And I always thought to myself, if I'm going to lose, I prefer to lose to someone who, you know, I've known in eSeniors for a number of times. They chat to me privately and stuff. And you know, there's a few of them I could name, but the guy who's put me under pressure was Terry. Once Mark Christopher was off, I mean, he gave me a cracking battle. To me, I thought, yeah, if he deserves it, he deserves it. But as we all saw, one little mistake, and it can all come back. I will say, I don't know where the hell I got 4.5 seconds from in 2 laps. Not a clue.
Yeah, I think what he said was that he actually let off the gas and he was kind of cruising, and it was a case of, you know, Ayrton Senna 1988 of basically, you know, he lost his rhythm, basically. Lost a lot of time.
Andreas is on the stream. Hi, Andreas.
Hello. And I think Andrea is going for the 4th place here.
He is. He's putting pressure on Mark Rogers. He's gaining on Mark Rogers in one of the PWS Astons.
Actually, you know what? I mean, there's only 3 minutes in the race, but look how close he is to Mark, and then John Saunders is right ahead, right?
Yeah, so he could get another 2 here.
Is it possible?
Well, it's right in front of him, the podium. He can see it.
My God, if he pulls that off, that will be outstanding.
I still think from a faultless drive, Carlo's been faultless.
Definitely.
Oh, that was very close. Very, very close. He's not giving up here, is he, Andrea? He's really going for it.
Yes, he's going. Oh, and there he goes.
He's going to get him here. Oh, no.
Yeah, no.
Yes.
Yes, he is.
He's inside.
Yeah, he's gone deep there.
Yeah, he's got him.
And there he is.
2 minutes to get by John Saunders.
So he's now, this is the view from John Saunders' car at the back. We can see the yellow and black Aston in the distance. Let's see if he catches and how much he catches. He's 1.3 seconds off as we stand.
He could.
Are we in for another grandstand finish? 2 nights on the run?
Could be.
So Nikos has just said in the chat, I pushed too hard in the last sector yesterday. You forced a mistake to Terry, in my opinion. Well, if that's not pushing too hard, is it?
No.
Isn't that what they call racecraft, Jonathan?
It is. I think what he means is that you pushed so hard that you forced the mistake.
All right,
I don't
okay.
think that he's saying that you made a mistake by pushing too hard. You did 100% the right thing. Amazing.
Yeah, I didn't quite do ascend it because I went round the outside, or I was going to. He's John Saunders is just keeping the gap well here, 1.5.
Yes, he is. He is.
So Andrea's looking for a mistake. I mean, Andrea's fast through this section, but I do think looking at this, in fact, Andrea needs to look at his mirrors because I don't think Mark Rogers is done with this race yet.
Yeah, I think actually Mark is closer to him than he is to John.
That's what I think.
Yeah, in those kind of conditions, you kind of have to block out the person behind you. I think that's the only way to focus on your race and always look forward.
So we're
or just be like Robert Urbando and just don't have any mirrors.
I'm sure he's gonna love that one.
So we can see here with Carlo, who's going to come over the finish line, and I think he does deserve driver of the day.
Absolutely.
He's had a faultless drive. I know Andrea's pulled himself through the field, as has Chris Bourne, but they both had incidents that caused them to lose positions. And, him and Peter were looking really solid. Unfortunately, Peter's made a couple of mistakes. He hit Carlo. And as you can see there, Carlo has won the race. And therefore, I think we elect Carlo as driver of the day as a result of that. So, fantastic race, Carlo. Peter's done a really good result there as well after last week when he struggled. So, that's a really good comeback for Peter. That's right. Got a couple of cars here. We've got John Saunders, who takes the final.
Saunders, very good
Andrea
race.
And Mark Rogers. And then we've got David Gerrard, who's coming up into 6th place. Another good run there for David in the PWS Aston. And then Lars, who's coming up in 7th place in the McLaren, just coming around the final bend. He's in front of Chris Bourne. Chris Bourne was catching and putting pressure on. Chris has done a good race, actually, considering where he ended up, where he started. So
yes. So this Lars is starting to come back into this championship too. He had a good race.
So we can see quite a few of the cars now. And Nelson obviously made a couple of mistakes, and that pushed him down the finish line a little bit. Neil Bywater crossing the line, and that's more or less all the drivers. So these are the final standings in relation to the drivers. We can see Carlo 4 seconds clear in the end. Quite a good gap of spread of gaps actually, apart from Mark Rogers and that. So absolutely fantastic race that. And I just want to thank everyone for watching.
Thank you, everyone.
And hope you enjoyed it. And any final words from Jeremy or Jonathan?
Yeah, just congratulations to top 3. Fantastic race.
Absolutely.
So at this point, everyone on the stream, we shall sign off. Thanks very much and take care.
Bye-bye.
Cheers.